Chosen one, listen carefully. What is being released to you now is not meant for everyone. This message is urgent, and it is sacred. If you are not walking the divine path, if your heart is not aligned with truth, faith, and obedience, then this moment is not assigned to you. You are free to step away without guilt. This door was never meant to open for all. But if you are a true follower of God, if you have sensed a calling on your life since your early days, if something deep within you has always known you were set apart for more, then this message is for you. It has reached you at the exact appointed moment. This is not timing, this is positioning. God placed this word before you because your light has intensified and the darkness has begun to respond. The pressure you feel is not imagined. The resistance you've encountered did not appear without cause. Forces of darkness are reacting to your light, not because you are weak, but because you are becoming a threat to what opposes God. Even Lucifer takes notice when alignment produces authority. That is why the weight has increased. That is why the opposition has grown louder. Stay with me to the end. What is about to be unveiled will permanently change how you understand your life, your battles, and the spiritual authority resting on you. This is not information, this is activation. What you are about to realize will rearrange the way you interpret your struggles and the way you carry yourself from this moment forward. Chosen one, understand this clearly, or you will misread what has been happening around you. Your light does not threaten the darkness because you are loud, visible, or forceful. It threatens the dark realm because you are aligned. Alignment releases power. Alignment sharpens authority. Alignment exposes what can no longer hide. And that is why this moment feels so intense, because something has already begun to shift. Darkness is not shaken by volume. It is unsettled by truth. And truth lives inside you whether you speak or remain silent. Your light was never something you decided to turn on. It was placed within you before you were formed. You were marked early. That is why your life has never felt ordinary. Even when you tried to blend in, something about you remained distinct. Even in silence, reactions followed. Even when you meant no harm, your presence stirred discomfort. That was not coincidence. That was contrast. Darkness survives through distortion, confusion, and spiritual sleep. You carry clarity, and clarity destabilizes systems built on lies. When you enter a space, you don't need to announce yourself. Your discernment alone unsettles what is hidden. Your awareness exposes what prefers to remain unseen. This is why some people feel uneasy around you without knowing why. This is why certain connections collapse without explanation. Your light forces truth to surface. Lucifer does not fear those who perform power loudly. He studies those who carry it quietly. He understands spiritual order. He knows that light aligned with God does not wait for permission. It simply operates. And that is what threatens him. Not your confidence, not your words, your obedience. Darkness cannot manipulate what is fully submitted to God. Release the lie that you are under attack because you are doing something wrong. That belief weakens you. The pressure you feel is not punishment. It is recognition. Darkness does not waste effort on lives without assignment. Resistance is not evidence of failure. It is confirmation of direction. Your light threatens the dark realm because it restores others without force. People begin to question their lives around you. Some awaken, some withdraw, some are inspired, others feel exposed. Both responses come from the same source. Your presence activates truth, and truth dismantles false peace. That is why your path has been narrow. God protects what carries influence. If you had blended in easily, your light would have dimmed. Instead, you were isolated, refined, misunderstood. That was not rejection, that was preservation. Darkness rushes what God slows. God guards what darkness wants to corrupt early. The dark realm feeds on unhealed wounds and fractured identity. Your healing disrupts that supply. Each time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, darkness loses ground. Each time you choose discipline over distraction, its grip weakens. Each time you trust God when circumstances argue otherwise, authority is released. That is why resistance often appears when you are calm, not chaotic. When you are steady, not desperate, darkness feeds on reaction. It loses control when you respond with wisdom. Your stillness disorients it. Your patience frustrates it. Your restraint dismantles it. Light does not battle darkness the way humans imagine. Light simply exists, and darkness cannot remain where light is present. That is why the dark realm works through delay, distraction, and doubt. It cannot extinguish your light, so it tries to exhaust you, to keep you busy, to make you question yourself. It whispers instead of shouting. Its goal is forgetfulness. But chosen one, your light has matured. That is why the resistance feels different now. More subtle, more mental, more strategic. When fear fails, confusion is sent. When temptation loses appeal, weariness follows. And still, you are standing. Your light carries memory. You remember God in dry seasons. You remember truth when lies sound reasonable. You remember purpose when the world urges you to settle. That memory anchors you. It is power. Do not underestimate how rare that is. Many numb themselves to survive. You chose awareness. Many trade truth for comfort. You chose growth. Many pull away from God when life becomes difficult. You leaned closer. That choice marked you. It sealed something in the unseen. That is why you survived what should have broken you. That is why your heart stayed soft when it should have hardened. You feel deeply, yet you do not collapse. God preserved your sensitivity because it is part of your calling. Darkness tried to turn it into weakness. God transformed it into discernment. Your light threatens the dark realm because it cannot be owned. It cannot be bribed. It cannot easily be seduced. You tasted emptiness and walked away. You saw false paths and refused them. You lost things and discovered God was still enough. That kind of faith disrupts the enemy's strategy. He no longer seeks your destruction. He seeks your delay, your doubt, your hesitation about timing, worth, and calling. Because if you fully step into who God is shaping you to become, others will be freed simply by encountering you. That is what darkness fears most. So hear this clearly. You are not imagining the resistance. You are not too sensitive. You are not cursed. You are becoming effective. Your light is expanding. Darkness only reacts when control is threatened. Stay grounded, stay obedient, stay aligned. Your light is not targeted because it is weak. It is targeted because it is real. And hear this slowly. Your light does not threaten darkness only because of who you are now, but because of who you are becoming. Darkness senses growth before it becomes visible. It feels momentum before movement. That is why resistance often rises before breakthroughs you cannot yet see. The enemy responds to trajectory, not results. There are seasons when God increases your spiritual weight quietly. You may feel heavier, more reflective, more inward. That is not despair. That is depth forming. Capacity is expanding, and when capacity grows, opposition recalibrates. Darkness interferes during transition, not arrival. But let this settle your spirit. If your light were not protected, it would have been extinguished already. The fact that you are still here, still believing, still seeking God, still walking with integrity means heaven has already set boundaries around you. Shadows may be sent, but they cannot cross what God has sealed. So do not shrink to feel safe. Do not dim yourself to avoid attention. Hidden light becomes confused. Standing light becomes authority. You were not chosen to survive quietly. You were chosen to remain aligned boldly. And alignment, chosen one, is what makes darkness tremble. Chosen one? Before fear tries to outrun truth, you need understanding. Darkness survives on confusion. When people don't understand what they're sensing, imagination fills the gap and steals peace. So let yourself settle for a moment. What you've been sensing is real, but it is not what fear has tried to paint. These shadow beings are not the dramatic figures of stories and movies, and they are not greater than you. They exist, yes, but they are restrained, limited, and already judged. They are not physical entities roaming freely. They are expressions of spiritual resistance, moving through influence rather than form. They operate in unseen spaces through thoughts, emotional climates, patterns, atmospheres, and sometimes through people who are unaware they are being influenced. Their strength is not power, but suggestion. They cannot create anything new. They only twist what already exists. All darkness comes from the same root, rebellion against God. Lucifer does not build. He corrupts. He does not generate life. He manages decay. His strategy is disruption, not creation. These shadows are sent to interfere, not to conquer. Their goal is delay, distraction, and discouragement. If they had the authority to destroy you, they would have done so already. The fact that you are still standing tells you everything. Stop seeing them as hunters chasing prey. That image makes you feel small. That is not your position. In reality, they behave more like parasites, attaching themselves to openings. Unhealed wounds, lingering anger, chronic fear, self-doubt, exhaustion. These are the environments they look for. They cannot attach to light itself. They linger near cracks where light feels tired. This is why awareness matters. You don't defeat shadows by fighting them. You outgrow them by closing access. Darkness feeds on confusion. When clarity arrives, shadows lose definition. Listen carefully now. Shadow beings often work through people who are unaware of their influence. Not every resistance comes from someone evil. Many are simply unguarded. They speak draining words. They stir confusion. They project their own insecurity and pull you back toward older versions of yourself. That doesn't make them your enemy, but it does require discernment. Lucifer prefers subtlety. Loud chaos wakes people up. Quiet erosion keeps them asleep. So shadows whisper instead of shout. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're behind. Maybe God forgot you. Maybe you should settle. Maybe none of this matters. They repeat these thoughts patiently, waiting for agreement. Agreement is the doorway. That is why the battlefield has always been the mind. Long before circumstances change, thoughts shift, energy fades, motivation weakens, faith feels heavy, prayer feels distant, not because God moved away, but because interference increased. Shadows aim to make spiritual disciplines feel burdensome. Their goal is disconnection, not destruction. Here is what many never realize. Shadows are assigned most often to those whose light can awaken others. They are not random, they are strategic. They watch growth, they study patterns, they observe what unsettles you, then apply pressure there, but observation is not authority. They can watch, but they cannot command. They can influence, but they cannot override your will. Your power is greater than you think because it is not emotional, it is positional. You stand under God's authority whether you feel strong or weak. That is why fear is their favorite tool. Fear narrows perspective. Fear makes temporary seasons feel permanent. Fear pushes you to react instead of reflect. As you mature spiritually, their effectiveness decreases. Early on, temptation worked. Then distraction worked. Later, subtle discouragement worked. Now they rely on fatigue and unexplained heaviness because obvious attacks no longer succeed. That alone tells you something. You have grown. Shadows cannot remain where peace is guarded. That is why rest feels contested. That is why solitude and prayer feel interrupted. Not because you are failing, but because those are your recharge points. Darkness targets supply lines, not fortified ground. Let this calm you. Shadows are not permitted to touch your soul. That belongs to God. They may influence emotions if you allow them. They may cloud thoughts if unchallenged, but they cannot claim you. They cannot redefine you. They cannot cancel what God has spoken. They are shadows, not substance. Shadows only exist where light is present. Think about that. If there were no light in you, there would be nothing casting a shadow. Their presence is not proof of danger, it is proof of illumination. And here is where your authority returns. Shadows are not afraid of effort. They are afraid of alignment. When you are aligned with God, you become untouchable, even when tired, even when uncertain, even when you don't feel spiritual at all. Alignment is not emotion, it is covenant. Lucifer understands hierarchy. He avoids direct confrontation with those who know who they are. He sends erosion instead, hoping endurance will fail. But endurance exposes him. Every time you choose peace over panic, a shadow loses ground. Every time you choose truth over assumption, its influence weakens. Every time you return to God instead of withdrawing inward, you reclaim territory. This is why isolation has appeared in your life. Not all isolation is loneliness. Some of it is protection. God removes you from noise so shadows lose camouflage. In silence, discernment sharpens. In solitude, you separate your own thoughts from those that were planted. Shadows dissolve in clarity. So, do not obsess over them. Obsession feeds what you stare at. Awareness is enough. Calm awareness. Steady awareness. You acknowledge their tactics without fearing their presence. Chosen one, you were never meant to battle shadows. You were meant to outshine them. And the brighter your light becomes, the less form they have. Eventually they stop appearing. Not because they vanished, but because access closed. That is where you are heading. Not toward fear, not toward conflict, but toward quiet, stable, unshakable authority. And darkness knows it. Before we go any deeper, pause for a moment. If this message is already stirring something in you, that's not accidental. Take a breath and allow yourself to be fully present right here. First, take a moment to tap, like so this message can reach others who are searching for clarity right now. Second, subscribe and stay connected, not just to a channel, but to a growing flow of messages meant specifically for you. As we're aiming for 5,000 subscribers, your connection helps ensure this word continues reaching the hearts it was sent for. Third, go to the comments and take a moment to write 999 or 777 and also share your city and where you're listening from. Let this be a quiet but powerful declaration between you and the Lord. Lord, I am the one you came for. I receive the transformation you are releasing in my life. Amen. Chosen one, now that you understand what these shadow influences truly are, it's time to recognize how they move against you in ordinary moments. Not to alarm you, not to make you suspicious of everything, but to free you from confusion. Because the moment a tactic is named, it loses authority over your mind. Shadows no longer rely on chaos the way they once did. You've outgrown that stage. They don't need storms when a slow leak can achieve more. Their aim is not dramatic collapse. It's quiet erosion, to drain you gradually, distract you just enough, and divert you slightly off course. They know that a small deviation, sustained over time, can delay destiny. The first way they drain you is through mental fatigue, not just physical tiredness, but a heaviness that settles into your thoughts. You wake up already weary. Tasks that once felt light now feel demanding. You begin revisiting decisions you already settled, not because truth changed, but because energy did. This is not laziness, it is targeted pressure. Mental fatigue dulls discernment, shortens patience, and makes prayer feel like effort instead of connection. Shadow influence loves the phrase, "I'll deal with it later." Later often turns into distance, and distance slowly weakens awareness. Another method of draining is emotional overload. You feel deeply, and that depth is not a flaw. It is part of your design, but darkness tries to weaponize it. Old memories resurface. Regret whispers at night. Guilt attempts to rewrite your past. Emotions accumulate instead of releasing, and clarity sinks beneath the weight. Shadows don't need to convince you of lies if they can simply exhaust your capacity to process truth. Then comes distraction, and distraction is subtle. It doesn't always look like temptation. Sometimes it looks like responsibility. Overwork, being available to everyone else while unavailable to yourself. Your schedule fills, but your spirit feels hollow. You are productive, yet disconnected. Distraction pulls you out of presence, and presence is where authority flows. When life becomes constant motion, constant response, constant consumption, listening fades. Shadow influence thrives in mental noise. Notice how distractions often appear just before growth, just before deeper rest, just before clarity. Something urgent surfaces. Attention is pulled outward. That timing is not accidental. Darkness does not mind belief. It resists stillness. Diversion follows distraction, and diversion is more dangerous because it feels meaningful. You begin fighting battles you were never assigned, fixing people who aren't ready, proving yourself to those who will never understand. You feel busy, but drained. Reaction replaces intention. Purpose is always ahead. Reaction is always behind. Another tactic is isolation mixed with misunderstanding, not healthy solitude, but withdrawal born from feeling unseen. Conversations feel shallow. You retreat emotionally, not to restore, but to protect. A quiet thought whispers, "No one understands you anyway." At first it feels relieving. Over time it becomes loneliness. And loneliness, when unchecked, distorts perception. Silence feels like rejection. Delay feels like denial. Correction feels like attack. But chosen one, not every quiet season means abandonment. Sometimes it means recalibration. Darkness tries to twist necessary solitude into unnecessary isolation. One heals, the other drains. Doubt is another diversion, especially when it sounds reasonable. Not loud disbelief, but logical questions. Maybe you missed it. Maybe you're behind. Maybe this calling was imagination. These thoughts don't feel evil, they feel practical. That's why they're dangerous. True wisdom brings peace. If a thought steals peace and shrinks courage, it did not come from God. Comparison is another drain. You begin measuring your pace against others, their timing, their visibility, their success. You forget that calling is personal and God does not shape souls on a schedule. Comparison drains joy quickly. It rushes growth that requires patience and causes you to overlook stabilizing lessons. Guilt is stirred where grace should be. Past mistakes replay. Missed opportunities resurface. You think you should be further by now. But guilt that leads nowhere is not conviction. Conviction restores peace. Lingering guilt paralyzes. Confusing the two benefits darkness. Emotional entanglement is another diversion. You carry burdens that are not yours. You fix, absorb, accommodate, and call it love. But overextension is not alignment. Darkness exploits compassion without boundaries. It sends situations that consume without restoring, and the most subtle tactic of all is forgetfulness. You forget victories. You focus on what's missing instead of what survived. You overlook quiet growth and answered prayers. Gratitude stabilizes you, so distraction keeps you reaching without resting. Hear this clearly. These tactics do not mean you are losing. They mean you are advancing. Empty ground is not fortified. What matters is protected. The goal is not to make you fall, but to tire you into pausing, doubting, or delaying momentum. But awareness breaks cycles. The moment you recognize patterns without fear, authority returns. Rest becomes resistance. Stillness becomes strength. Clarity becomes protection. You are not weak because pressure exists. You are strong because you remain aligned within it. Shadows may drain, distract, and divert, but they cannot define you. They cannot override what God has already set in motion. Chosen one, this is the question your heart has whispered in the quiet. If God loves you, if He chose you, if He walks with you, why does He allow this pressure? Why not remove the resistance? Why not silence the opposition? Why not make the path easier? Slow your breathing and listen closely, because understanding this will heal something deep within you. God allows pressure not because He doubts you, but because He trusts what He placed inside you. Pressure is not evidence of abandonment. Pressure is proof of investment. Nothing valuable is left unguarded, and nothing powerful is left untested. God does not prepare fragile vessels for eternal assignments. There is a difference between protection and preparation. Protection keeps something safe. Preparation makes something strong. In the earlier chapters of your life, God protected you more than you ever realized. You were spared dangers you never saw. Doors were closed that would have destroyed you. Paths were blocked that felt unfair at the time but saved you later. As you grew, God shifted from shielding you to strengthening you. Preparation requires resistance. Faith that has never been tested collapses under responsibility. Love that has never been challenged becomes conditional. Obedience that has never been stretched remains shallow. God is not forming you to merely believe. He is forming you to carry weight. Spiritual weight, emotional weight. Authority that does not panic when pressure rises. Pressure exposes what is rooted and what is borrowed. God allows it because it reveals where your strength truly comes from. Comfort hides foundations. Pressure reveals them. And God wants your foundation anchored in Him, not in outcomes, approval, or timing that makes sense to the world. Hear this without resentment. God does not explain every season because explanation would limit growth. If you knew everything in advance, you would prepare mentally, not spiritually. You would strategize instead of surrender. And surrender is where transformation actually happens. Pressure strips illusion. It dismantles false confidence. It breaks dependence on validation. It exposes habits that no longer serve your calling. Under pressure, you learn what matters, what you can release, and what must be protected at all costs. This is why God allows pressure specifically on chosen ones. Your assignment is not surface level. You are meant to influence lives, not impress them. Influence requires depth, and depth is formed in seasons that drive you inward. Gold is not formed in comfort. Diamonds are not created without pressure. Oil is not released without crushing. God is not harming you. He is refining you. Refinement feels painful when its purpose is unclear. There were moments you prayed for growth, clarity, maturity, strength. God answered, but not the way your mind expected. He did not give instant confidence. He placed you in situations that demanded courage. He did not give instant peace. He placed you in environments where peace had to be chosen. He did not give instant wisdom. He allowed confusion until discernment formed. Pressure trains discernment. Without it, everything is taken at face value. With it, you learn to pause, listen, and seek God before reacting. Pressure slows impulsive souls and strengthens intentional ones. God also allows pressure because of what is coming next. Future assignments require stability. Influence without stability becomes ego. Authority without humility becomes control. Visibility without grounding leads to collapse. God has seen too many rise before they were rooted, so He roots you. Pressure also reveals what still needs healing. Unhealed wounds surface. Old fears resurface. Insecurity grows loud when affirmation is removed. God allows this not to shame you, but to heal you fully. He refuses to let unresolved pain follow you into places where it could wound others. You are not being punished for past mistakes. You are being cleansed of their residue. God allows pressure because your life is meant to be a testimony, not just a blessing. People are strengthened by what you endure with faith intact, not by what you avoided. Your survival teaches. Your resilience carries authority. Your calm under pressure shows others how to trust God when answers delay. If pressure were removed, your story would lose credibility on earth. People learn from endurance more than ease. Pressure trains timing. It builds patience in a world addicted to immediacy. You learn to wait without quitting, to hope without proof, to obey without applause. That patience is rare. And God entrusts rare influence only to those who can wait without becoming bitter. Notice how pressure has already changed you. You pray differently. You listen more. You choose words carefully. You guard your energy. You no longer chase what once distracted you. Comfort didn't create this. Resistance did. God also uses pressure to separate you from people who cannot walk into your next season. Not everyone can handle your growth. Some connections fade under pressure. That hurts, but it also protects. God removes weights before they become chains. And hear this clearly. God never allows pressure without supplying grace. The reason you are still standing is because grace has carried you quietly. Grace is not loud. It is consistent. If this pressure were meant to destroy you, you would not still be here. The fact that you still seek God, still choose integrity, still long for purpose, proves the pressure is working for you. God sees the version of you this season is producing. Stronger, steadier, more discerning, less reactive, more rooted. When this season lifts, and it will, you won't just feel relief. You'll be ready. Ready to carry more light. Ready to walk with authority. Ready to help others without losing yourself. You are not under pressure by accident. You are under preparation by design. Pressure is not God testing whether you will fail. God already knows what is in you. Pressure reveals it to you. Strength stays hidden without resistance. Endurance remains theoretical. Faith stays conceptual. Under pressure, faith becomes lived experience. There are prayers God cannot answer without allowing resistance first. Authority without endurance collapses. So pressure trains your spirit to stay anchored, and your mind to stay steady, even when outcomes remain unseen. Pressure teaches you to trust God without emotional confirmation. Earlier, you felt Him strongly. Now you trust Him deeply. That shift is intentional. Feelings fade. Alignment remains. God is not distant from this season. He is present within it. Every tear, every quiet act of obedience, every moment you held yourself together was seen. Nothing here is wasted. You are not being delayed. You are being fortified. Chosen one. This is the turning point. Understanding pressure is one level. Enduring it is another. But learning how to stand in your light without fear is where authority is born. Not loud authority, not forced authority, but the kind that settles your spirit and quiets the space around you. Hear this clearly. Fear is not defeated by bravery. Fear dissolves through clarity. When you know who you are, fear loses its argument. Standing in your light does not mean becoming aggressive or defensive. It does not mean proving anything or announcing yourself. Light never explains itself, it reveals. And revelation flows naturally when you remain aligned. The first key is understanding this. Your authority is not emotional. Some days you feel strong, other days you feel unsure. Your authority does not rise and fall with your feelings. It is positional. You stand under God's covering whether your prayers feel powerful or quiet, whether your faith feels alive or tired. Stop measuring strength by emotion. Emotions are weather. Alignment is climate. Fear often enters when you believe you must sustain your light through effort. That will exhaust you. You were never asked to generate light. God is the source. Your role is connection. When striving ends and trust begins, fear starts to loosen its grip. Standing in your light also requires discernment, not confrontation. Not every disturbance deserves your response. Not every misunderstanding needs correction. Not every challenge is your assignment. Darkness loves to pull chosen ones into unnecessary battles because battles drain energy. Discernment preserves it. Silence, when chosen wisely, is strength. Peace, when guarded intentionally, is authority. Another key is presence. Fear lives ahead of you. Regret lives behind you. Light operates now. When you remain present, fear has nowhere to attach. This is why stillness matters. Sometimes connection is not words, but awareness. Breathing. Returning to the moment God placed you in. Presence grounds you in reality. Fear feeds on imagination. You also stand in your light by choosing rest without guilt. This matters more than you realize. Many chosen ones believe rest is weakness. That belief is dangerous. Exhaustion does not make you holy. Burnout does not make you faithful. God did not call you to constant output. He called you to abide. Rest recalibrates your nervous system. It clears mental noise. It sharpens discernment. When you are rested, fear loses leverage because your mind is no longer overwhelmed. Darkness wants you drained. God wants you steady. Guarding your light also means guarding your inputs. What you listen to, what you watch, what conversations you allow, what environments you stay in. You cannot shine clearly if your mind is filled with noise that contradicts truth. This is not isolation. It is intentional exposure. You choose what nourishes you and limit what drains you. That is not selfish. It is stewardship. Another shift happens when you stop internalizing resistance. Not everyone who misunderstands you is attacking you. Not every closed door is rejection. Not every delay is denial. When you internalize everything, fear multiplies. When you interpret wisely, peace remains. Ask yourself often, is this mine to carry? Many things are not. Standing in your light also requires humility, and humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking less about yourself. Fear grows when self-focus increases. Constantly monitoring how you're perceived, how you're progressing, how you're performing creates anxiety. Humility redirects attention to obedience. You do what God asks today. Tomorrow rests in His hands. Communication with God matters here, but not from panic. Fear-driven words reinforce fear. Alignment-driven words reinforce trust. Speak honestly, without performance, without pretending. Let connection be real, not ceremonial. Standing in your light means you stop negotiating with fear. Fear always asks for certainty, reassurance, control. Faith moves without full information because it trusts the source. You do not wait for fear to leave before acting. You act aligned, and fear follows behind. Accept this truth as well. You are allowed to be gentle and strong at the same time. Strength does not require hardness. God preserved your softness for a reason. Compassion does not weaken authority. It refines it. Darkness tries to harden you. God grounds you. When you stand in your light, accept that not everyone will celebrate your peace. Some are unsettled by calm because chaos validates them. Do not shrink your peace to make others comfortable. Your calm is not arrogance. It is evidence of trust. Fear also loses power when you stop over-explaining yourself. You do not owe clarity to those committed to misunderstanding you. Explanation often seeks approval. Approval seeking feeds fear. Alignment dissolves it. You can be misunderstood and still be right with God. Standing in your light also means accepting seasons of invisibility without panic. Some of God's strongest work happens beneath the surface. Roots grow in darkness. Visibility comes later. Fear rushes. Wisdom waits. Trusting timing is maturity. And remember this, you are not standing alone. Even when you feel solitary, unseen support surrounds you. God's presence does not fluctuate with awareness. He is near in silence as much as in breakthrough. Fear says you are exposed. Truth says you are covered. Finally, stop asking if you are enough. That question comes from insecurity, not humility. God does not call the sufficient. He supplies those he calls. Your responsibility is obedience. His responsibility is outcome. You do not need to feel ready. You need to be willing. Fear will visit. It always does. But it does not have to stay. Each time you choose alignment over anxiety, truth over assumption, peace over panic, your spiritual posture strengthens. And over time, fear stops knocking. Not because life gets easier, but because you become anchored. You are learning to stand not in your own strength, but in God's presence. And that is the safest place you can stand. The shift is already happening for you, chosen one. If you slow your breath and allow yourself a moment of honesty, you'll sense it, even with the pressure, even with resistance, even with unanswered questions. Something within you has already moved. You are not who you were when the season began. And that change was not accidental. Spiritual shifts rarely announce themselves. They unfold quietly beneath the surface, long before the outside world reflects them. Many expect change to arrive loudly. God prefers it to arrive stable. That's why this shift feels subtle. It isn't dramatic, it's grounded. Your thinking has changed. You pause now where you once reacted. You question impulses that used to control you. You no longer chase validation the way you once did. Peace matters more than winning an argument. That isn't weakness. That's maturity taking shape. One of the first signs is your relationship with silence. Silence no longer frightens you. You no longer rush to fill space with noise. You can sit with your thoughts without panic. That tells me something solid has formed inside you. You're no longer afraid of what surfaces when distractions fall away. Another sign is how you handle disappointment. It still hurts, yes, but it no longer shatters you. You recover faster. You process instead of suppress. You allow emotions to move through you without letting them define you. That isn't numbness. That's emotional stability. Your discernment has sharpened. You recognize patterns sooner. Motives become clearer. Cycles reveal themselves before they repeat. You no longer need repeated pain to recognize misalignment. You sense it early. That's God refining your perception, helping you release what drains you before it costs you more. Notice this as well. You're less interested in convincing people. You explain less. You observe more. You listen with intention. You choose words carefully. That tells me your identity has settled. When identity settles, performance fades. Your relationship with God has shifted too. You may not feel intense emotion every time you pray, but your trust runs deeper. You no longer panic when God feels quiet. You rest. You wait. You listen. That's relational maturity. Infants cry when silence comes. Those who've grown trust presence without noise. You're learning to walk by alignment, not sensation. Separation is also happening. Some relationships feel distant. Some conversations feel forced. Some environments feel heavy now. That doesn't mean superiority. It means frequency has changed. Growth creates distance naturally, and this separation is protective. God is removing what would have distracted you and what comes next. Loss doesn't always mean punishment. Sometimes it's preparation. Your desires are changing too. What once excited you feels empty. You crave meaning more than excitement, depth more than novelty, truth more than approval. That's not boredom. That's refinement. Your relationship with time has shifted. You feel less rushed, less frantic. You understand now that delay isn't denial. Waiting isn't stagnation. Patience wasn't taught through explanation. It was formed through experience. Your conversations with God are simpler now, less performative, more honest. You speak like someone who trusts, not someone trying to impress. Intimacy has replaced insecurity. Even your battles have changed. You argue less. Disengage faster. Protect your peace. Choose rest over reaction. That isn't avoidance. That's wisdom. You're becoming selective with your energy. You say no without guilt. Step back without over-explaining. Choose solitude without loneliness. That's emotional health forming. You survived refinement without hardening your heart. Many survive pressure by becoming bitter. You survived by becoming grounded. God sees that. Doesn't always shout. Sometimes it looks like not collapsing under weight that once would have crushed you. God is repositioning you quietly, strategically, aligning you with what fits who you've become, not who you were. New opportunities will come that don't require betraying your peace. New connections will feel natural. New assignments will feel aligned, not forced. Things feel slow because timing is being synchronized. Rushed elevation creates unstable outcomes. Precision requires patience. You're closer than you think, not to success as the world defines it, but to alignment as heaven intended. The internal shift has already happened. The external will follow. Don't underestimate what God has done in you just because it isn't visible yet. Roots grow underground. Strength forms in hidden places, and when it's time to rise, you won't wobble. You'll stand steady, clear, anchored. This shift isn't coming. It's already here, and the peace you're beginning to feel is confirmation. Look deeper. What once triggered you no longer holds the same grip. Situations that once stole your sleep pass through without settling. You still care, but you don't cling. That balance came from healing, not willpower. You're less reactive to spiritual noise. Opinions don't shake you like before. Conflicting voices don't confuse you as easily. You recognize God's voice not by volume, but by consistency. His guidance brings clarity, not chaos. You're also more comfortable being unseen. You once wanted recognition for growth. Now you value peace more than applause. That's readiness. God trusts those who don't need affirmation. When humility stabilizes the heart, promotion becomes safe. A quiet courage is forming, not reckless courage, but steady courage, the kind that moves forward with partial clarity. That's faith lived, not imagined. And here's the most important sign of all. You're learning to trust yourself again, not ego. Discernment. You trust the wisdom God has grown in you. You trust the pause. You trust the no. You trust the timing. That inner trust is evidence that something fractured has been restored. So if things feel unusually calm before everything changes, don't misread it. Calm isn't stagnation. Calm is readiness. The shift is real. The foundation is set. And what comes next will meet a version of you that is no longer fragile. You didn't just survive this season. You were transformed by it. Chosen one, let this land with full weight as we move into the closing moments. You were never unprotected, not for a single breath. Even in the seasons when you felt exposed, confused, or worn thin, the hand of God never lifted from you. What you interpreted as vulnerability was not abandonment. It was refinement. Light being sharpened under pressure until it could no longer be mistaken for anything ordinary. What felt like isolation was divine coverage. What felt like delay was precise timing, heaven's timing, not human impatience. The shadows may have watched, they may have followed, they may have attempted interference, but they were never in control. Boundaries were set long before you became aware of the battle. Your light was never left uncovered. Heaven has guarded you quietly, consistently, faithfully. You are still standing because you were never meant to fall. You endured because grace carried you when strength ran low. You matured because pressure shaped you, not because it defeated you. And now you are stepping into a season where fear no longer gets to vote on your decisions. Remember this: darkness does not chase what it can control. Resistance does not gather around what is insignificant. And pressure does not refine what has no purpose. You were targeted because you carry light that matters. Your collapse did not prove weakness. It proved weight. Your tears did not prove defeat. They proved that something sacred inside you refused to die. The pain, the breaking, the unanswered nights were not random suffering. They were divine evidence that God has been forging strength where the enemy expected surrender. You were not being dismantled. You were being marked. So walk forward without shrinking. Rest without guilt. Trust without panic. Do not rush what God has already secured, and do not negotiate with what heaven has already decided. Your assignment is intact. Your calling is protected. Your future is still unfolding exactly as it should. Quietly, precisely, inevitably. Stay anchored, stay faithful. Keep your light where God placed it. Because what comes next is not a return to who you were. It is the unveiling of who you've been becoming. And the door has only just begun to open. Father, you who never sleep and never loosen your grip, we come before you with hearts uncovered. In the pain, you were present. In the collapse, you were guarding. In the pressure, you were forging what could not be formed in comfort. We surrender every hidden fear, every delayed obedience, every place we tried to shrink our light to feel safe. Mark us again with holy clarity. Strengthen our inner man where exhaustion has whispered lies. Restore what grief tried to steal. Align our thoughts with heaven, our steps with destiny, our voice with truth. Teach us to stand steady when shadows circle and to move forward without panic when answers delay. Let courage rise where trembling lived, and let peace become our posture, not our reward. Seal our calling deeper than emotion, deeper than circumstance, deeper than time, so that what you have awakened in us will not return to sleep, and what you have begun will break open into its appointed hour. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because every message released here carries a word designed to awaken, heal, and strengthen your soul. As we're moving toward 5,000 subscribers, your connection helps ensure these messages continue reaching the hearts God is preparing right now. Take a moment to go to the comments and write 999 or 777 and also share your city and where you're listening from. Let this be a quiet declaration of agreement and openness to what God is doing in this season. Amen.